Today we're going to have a look at a possible oil leak. I noticed for quite some time I've been seeing a little bit of oil around that flange down at the bottom down there. And that can never be a good thing. Something's obviously leaking. So why don't we have a look inside and find out just exactly what's going on in there. Okay, so as we have a peek in here, it looks like we do have a micro leak. I don't think it's a real big deal. This is 30 years of service, so you have to expect something, I guess. Some kind of sling. Apparently it's coming down that main spindle, going onto the coupler, and being whipped around the inside of the cabinet. Again, 30 years service, not a big deal. So I'm going to clean this up next, and then we'll go up top, and we'll have a look and see what we have for oil left in the tank, and clean up what's up there. Let's have a look. Okay, the inside looks pretty good to go. A little something I thought I would mention before we go is to take care of, or have a look at rather, with a rag, go around the inside of here where your seal is and see if you feel that it's wet at all. I did notice some some oil. That seal is definitely leaking around the inside of there. Now it's a question of, has it been leaking to this degree the whole time? Is it getting worse? So now that it's all nice and clean, just keep an eye on what your stuff is doing, if yours is doing the same as this one. Just a FYI. Let's go up to the top now and have a look what we have up there. Really good news. Turns out, back decades ago, I thought it would be a good idea to put a magnet on the end of here with some epoxy. Well, I had forgotten I had done that 30 plus years ago, and I thought this was all some kind of slop on the inside, and the black on the end I thought was the color of the oil. Oh, I feel so much better now. Maybe this is an idea. I don't know. It's awful ballsy, I guess, because if this epoxy would have let go in that oil over all the years, it would have dropped the magnet inside and maybe ruined things. But test of time proves it didn't happen, and it was working well because this was black and loaded with worn metal. So the idea, I guess, kind of worked. Lesson of the story: clean up your oil, change your oil. Turns out I don't have any problems other than brain matter is lacking in my own head, and I had forgotten I had done this. So I need to top the oil off. I'm down just a little bit. You guys are going to want to take care of that too. But be real careful when you guys clean the area around here that none of this foulness, if you will, drops into your oil reservoir. Be really careful of that. So I'm going to close this back up, and then I'm going to clean up the inside of here. This is another breather. Make sure that that's open, that brass, if you will. And this is mine, by the way. I thought I would show this. Might be a bad idea, but this is what I've been doing. Their wrenches are so poor that they just flex open and, just go to heck. So I thought what I would do is I would just take a piece of metal and I use it in here like this. And then I just grab a hold of the spindle and loosen it. I don't bother with those nuts at all. And because this normally has oil on it, I place that right here and we're good to go. A little tip, if you will. So I'm going to close this back up, and we will talk after I have this cleaned up. Okay, so everything's been cleaned up. What I did is I took a small paintbrush and knocked off all the loose dust. Then went back with some paper towel just to clean off that really light film of oil. Pay attention to the sides of your trunnions too, that those are not grease soaked. And clean off the inside of the trunnion too, or blow it out or what have you, because mine was operating a little tough because there was so much stuff built up inside. Perhaps yours is too. After you get it all cleaned up, the only thing you really have to do is put this bolt back in. And what I would advise is putting 2 nuts on the bolt and locking them with like red Loctite so they can never come off. But do not Loctite the bottom of the threads that go into this piece of cast iron. Thereby, when you loosen this bottom nut, the whole works comes out. You can now change the table the other direction. When you go to put it back in, all you do is tighten it. You have not lost your adjustment 1 iota, unless these nuts move. That's why I Loctited them. So I thought I would give you that information. Next, you're supposed to really have this oil changed after the first 2 hours. I did not, so I still have my oil change yet to do. And I do believe we're good to go. Next, it's put the back on and just check the top against one of these spindles and make sure you're still at a 90. I believe we're good to go. You guys let me know what you think. Take care.